morning-ish, and welcome to Coffee with a Kick. Welcome back. We're on the other side of the international break with a couple matches coming up this weekend. They're splitting up this one just to make it so that we have less content, which is great. I do enjoy when they give us less content than we typically get. But I'm Xander, that's Keegan, and we are back and ready to do better this time. You know what I mean? We're doing pretty poorly for our picks on the other end of the international break, except for the last match day. We did pretty well on that. But we are making an effort, obviously, to do better this time. So how you feeling after this restful time?
I feel rejuvenated. I prayed about it when it came to the picks. So I feel there's some divine intervention when it comes to how well we're going to do. I think we're going to start doing pretty well.
Well, I know one thing. I know that we've got a new fan out there. We got Flynn21, dropped 3 comments while we were gone across 2 of our videos. One is +1 sub. This channel is so underrated with 1 R. I'll forgive the spelling mistake. And then This one, I think you need to take with a grain of salt because I think this might be a bot. It says, "Great video, Heart. This is the second time I have watched."
Wow, man!
And that was on our hour-long video. So if you watched it twice just for us, listen, more power to you. And hit a like and subscribe and comment on this video too. We're looking for you, Flynn21. Keep on keeping on, Flynn21. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into our picks here for the first half-ish of the match day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 matches. So not exactly half. More than it. I had to pause myself while I coughed if you're listening on. We do have a pod. This does come out on the podcast waves as well if you prefer going that way. We're on all of them. Apple, Spotify. Does anybody use anything else? I don't know. They're there, though. I don't know, but they are there, though. Anyway, Burnley and Luton is our first one coming up later today at 2:45 Eastern Time. This one is listen, do I expect it to be a good match? No. Is it a very important match? Yes, absolutely. Both these teams are down at the bottom of the table. Every point they can get is important. Taking points away from other top bottom of the table teams, even more important in my estimation. Most as important. So, what do you think? What do you think here? Who's coming back hot off of the international break?
As we always know, Luton is just a very solid team when it comes to results. Burnley, at least they can keep up possession. Honestly, I got to go with Burnley. I'm going to go 2-1, mainly because it's at Turf Moor. I think the home crowd could help edge the game, but it's kind of a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, I'm leaning Burnley as well for that same reason. For these sides, I think that that home field helps a lot more. So 2-1, I think it might be even less than that. I think it might be a 1-0. One of the few matches where we only have 1 goal scored this season, where Burnley gets one in like the 30th or so, and they're already so good at pointless possession. Like, why not do it and have the pointless possession be the point? Therefore, it is no longer pointless possession.
That's a strategy.
Bing, bang, boom. Strategy. Then you're in the win column, and you got 3 more points, and you're still in the relegation zone, but you're closer to getting out. That is all that we have for Friday. Going into Saturday, we've got Chelsea versus Fulham in the early match there at 7:30 at Stamford Bridge. This one is interesting because Fulham was riding a big high in mid to late December, but fell off there at the beginning of the year, beginning of the year. So it had a little bit of a comeback on the last match day, if I recall correctly. Let me pull up my results here so I'm not speaking out of my rear. That's not what I wanted to click.
They beat Arsenal on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they came back after losing 3-0 to Bournemouth and Burnley and Newcastle. So, yeah, really up and down situation there. Chelsea squeaked by Luton and Crystal after losing to Chelsea. I think this one goes 2-2. I think this ends up being a draw. Neither side feels fulfilled, but an away point at Stamford Bridge is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I have it as a 1-1 draw. I think after the international break, teams will come back a little slow.
Yeah.
Chelsea didn't even really have one because they played in the Carabao Cup. So they did lose to Middlesbrough. So
wow,
they might be starting a slump. I don't know. This game will be the telltale sign, but I gotta go 1-1. I'm going 1-1.
1-1. Listen, it could happen. Fulham not scoring that much would be strange, but we'll see. And then we go to the 12:30 match with Newcastle at St. James's Park, hosting Manchester City with Kevin De Bruyne. Are we getting a KDB sighting?
I think so, yeah.
Oh boy, what do you think? 5-2 for City?
I think it's going to be a 3-0 City win.
Oh, just
I think it'll be modest, but I think calm. Newcastle is down bad.
Yeah.
And I think City, I think Holland will also be back. So it's kind of going to be
getting back into the groove of playing together at game speed. It's hard to replicate. It's a cliche, but it's hard to replicate game speed even if you're doing a hard practice because everyone's not. The tackles aren't as hard. You're not going a 100%. You're going at like. You're making bursts at 100%, but you're not going in as hard to headers and things like that. So getting everybody back up to speed, those connections with KDB are so instinctual that it'll take a little bit for that to work out. I think, it could very well go very similar to how they ended last year with just those controlled, boring, essentially, victories at the end of the year where they just, the 3-1 over Everton and the 2-0 over Sheffield. That Sheffield one was a dull 2-0. It was just a smothering by City there. I think we both very reasonably have City winning that one. And then we go to Sunday, the 14th, with Everton and Aston Villa. This is Villa's chance to go top of the table before Liverpool plays next weekend. How do you think that one goes?
Well, I think this would be a great time to introduce our trivia.
Trivia, you say?
Yeah. I think every episode we may try and drop some Premier League trivia just to keep all of you on your toes. So, first trivia question of Coffee with a Kick as Xander keels over and
tries to blow my nose off of screen, but I don't think I made it.
But what is the only team in all of the English leagues whose name starts with 5 consonants?
Whose name starts with 5 consonants?
Yeah.
Ooh. Boy.
I say we do a couple more predictions and we come back.
Yeah, I'll think on that because it's going to be something like an SCHR. But then that's only 4.
Strotterfield.
Yeah, something like that is where I'm going, but I don't know. Anyway, we won't let that stop us, but we'll think on that for a moment and come back, and it'll come back with the answer later on. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, how do you have Villa and Everton going at Goodison Park in Liverpool?
I think this will be another 1-1 game.
Really?
I think Everton's trying to rewrite the ship, not lose as much as they have. Aston Villa recently have been starting slow after international breaks, and it's like that middle chunk that they're really finding their groove. So I think 1-1.
They also seem very comfortable in second. They don't seem to want to actually get to first.
No.
I think they do. I think that Everton. Everton will be scrapping for this one. Obviously, they're only 1 point above Luton. So, if Luton beats Burnley or even draws, not draws, because their goal difference is -14 and Everton's is only -4. Everton could be back down in relegation like they were after their 10-point deduction, which could still be reduced. We have to keep in mind. Still, Brentford's almost down there. They're at 19 points. But I think that Villa takes it 2-1. I think they find some of that stalwart stick-to-itiveness that they had in those middle sections there where they drew City. Where they beat City. And
they beat City and they beat
City and Arsenal 1-0. Yeah. They find some more of that sort of stalwart defense and ability to withstand the flood. Not that Everton can throw that much at them, but still, I think they go top of the table for a little while. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if they can stay up there. Liverpool does play Bournemouth, so chances are not great that Liverpool doesn't take all three. Yeah. And I miscounted. I included Arsenal and Brentford's match in this one, but that's next Saturday, not this Saturday. So there's only 5 matches, which makes sense. I should have figured. Everton and Villa, that's how we have that one shaking out. I won't repeat it again. And then Manchester United hosts Spurs at Old Trafford, 11:30 on Peacock, Sunday the 14th. How's Man U coming out of this? How'd Ten Hag's discussions go over the break? Is he still there?
I did not even keep track of it. I assume he's still there. I haven't seen anything
I haven't heard otherwise
saying he's been fired, but I think that this game is going to be the game that fires him. I think they lose 3-1.
Oh, wow.
And I think that Tottenham's Man U just can't really score. And they're not, I don't know. I think Tottenham's going to roll them. So 3-1.
I want to see if Maddison is back yet. Because if Maddison's back, I think that's no contest. I can't see it in just this quick little burst. Trying so hard to do it. Nope, I don't see him. Looks like he may not be back yet. Anyway, I agree. I think it's a little bit closer than that. I think it's 2-0. I think it's similar to the Sheffield United City match that Tottenham just controls them and again, oh golly, now I can't remember his name. I was going to say it and then I can't remember it. Who's their young striker who just scored for the first time ever in the Premier League last match day?
Højlund?
Yeah, Højlund. Yeah, Højlund.
Højlund.
Yeah.
Not Holland.
No, not Holland.
They couldn't sign Holland, so they had to sign a Højlund.
Had to get somebody close to it. But yeah, I think that Tottenham takes that one as well. But I do not have an answer to your. So the only team that has 5 consonants starting their name,
whose name starts with 5 consonants.
Name starts with I could just imagine like. I don't have a good guess. I just have like SCHR. V Shverv
Svedja.
Svedja. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Svedja. I think that they're moving to England. Now, who is it? You keep me in suspense here.
The answer is Crystal Palace.
CHR. Oh, using the Y. Sometimes Y is a consonant. It's a vowel in that word. CHRY.
It's a consonant, though.
Oh, CRYST. Yes, CRYST.
Crystal.
Yes. There's no H in the British spelling.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Well, there you go. You've got one for the pub. I don't know. But anyway, we will be back late next week, probably about this time, with another episode breaking down this set and doing the rest of the match day. I hope to see you then. In the meantime, why don't you go ahead and grab some coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you next week. Do widzenia.